Twitter Spaces, the Cypher's live. Ozman collects, he's hosting dives through digital realms with shows at 5. Web V, meet Marvel, the narrative thrives. Weekends we speak with Josh and Stride. Collectors going digital, we coincide. Digital sweepstakes handouts for those who abide. Bring collecting space news, we never miss guys. V chill, kick back, geek modes, from car flips to comics, the spectrum loads.
Alrighty, and I think we are live. And we got some people in the crowd already. What up, Double Quill? What's going on, Shawnee? Welcome to everyone tuning in. This is going to be Web V Weekends number 40. Just going to give it a few more minutes for some people to trickle in here as well. We got Sven in the building. What's going on, brother? But yeah, I'm going to be hosting today's show just because Ozman, he's away this weekend. Couldn't get to the mic, so we're going to be picking it up. But we got lots of topics to discuss. So if you guys have been staying in touch with VeVe or just anything collecting in general, we have topics that kind of pertain to both. So we're going to get into movies. We're going to get into collecting. We're going to get into some other content made by other creators in the community, and as well as what's happening with some other platforms like IMX. Sven's hopping up to stage. Let's bring him up. It's my first time hosting a show, so I have no idea if... Yeah, there he is. I see you as a speaker. Are you with me, Sven?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I have my blanket. I'm on my sofa. I muted my television. It's on the Olympics. I see Double Quill here, the real Hinano, Exhibition Richard, Siani Poo, so I'm happy. Actually, I need a biscuit too, biscuit and some milk, but I ate too much already, so it's gonna be
not quite full yet. What are you watching on the Olympics?
So I'm just putting on the Olympics, and then I can listen. But they're throwing some. How do you call it? It's athletics, but they throw like a ball on a thread, and they throw it as far as they can. So I'm watching that now.
Yes. I can't remember what that's called either.
So I'm fine. Oh, Canada is on the show too, so you're there too.
Oh, there we go. I was chatting with Sven. For everyone listening, I was chatting with Sven yesterday, and I think it was yesterday that Belgium won cycling. You said?
Yeah. Belgium won cycling. So the men today, yesterday they were the men, and so Belgium won with Remco Evenepoel. And today we got beaten by the USA in the female cycling. So there was one female or two female in front of us. We had the USA with, I don't know which name she had. It's Katrien, I don't know for sure. And then the second one was the Dutch team. Very good cyclist there too. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that game. Those cycling things in Europe, we're very big into cycling, and we're very fond of cycling.
That's awesome. Gold and silver. Can't win them all, though. For everyone else tuning in, we got Notorious. What's going on? We got Guri in the building. Felix, what's going on? Hanano and D. I love you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I feel like it's been a little while since I talked to you. I got to catch up with you guys, but I was watching some of your YouTube videos earlier.
Yeah, you should send them a little invite, Hinano and D. They need to give you a bit of backup here.
I'm not going to do that. Hey, anyone can hop up if they want to, but they put a ton of time into content. So I'm going to start hopping into some topics here. Why don't we do that?
Great, good idea. Do you have some music too?
Unfortunately, I don't actually. So I tried downloading Dokta's music track for the show, and I downloaded it from my drive because I'm on my PC, right? So I have to play the track from my phone to put it in the mic. And when I went to go download the track, I'm out of storage on my phone, so I have to take some stuff and put it on like a hard drive. So I'll be better prepared for next show. But we got another request here. Who is it? It's D, all the way from Hawaii. What is going on, D?
What's up?
What's up?
How are you?
Guys, hey, I'm kind of tucked away behind this tree because we're down at the beach and it's kind of windy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're tuning in from the beach.
That's awesome. Well, I'm jealous. I still have yet to get to Hawaii, and the beach is probably the number one place I would want to go in Hawaii. So I hope you guys are enjoying the day. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're just tuning in live just to show some support. You're doing a great job. But yeah, hope everyone's having a great day or night wherever you are. So we'll be here chilling out and listening to you guys.
Amazing. Well, thank you. Say hi to Hanano for me.
I will. He's listening.
Alrighty. So first topic on today's list. I'm trying to go in order here. I have so many, and we're probably not going to get through all of them. We've had a lot of stuff happen, from new drops to new content being made from community members. We had some live streams happen the other day with some level 100 collectors, and they talked about some pretty interesting topics in that show. It was actually one that VeVe had tweeted out. So if you guys missed that, highly recommend watching it back. It was with Mr. MC1, Randy, and oh gosh, I'm so bad with names. I'm forgetting the third one. Sven, help me out here. Do you know?
I think there was King in his name. Was there a King, or I'm not sure, but I'll recheck it.
Yeah, can you check that for me? I feel bad for forgetting the name. But yeah, so we're going to talk about some points there. But to start things off, VeVe announced yesterday or a couple days ago now the metallic red Thor. We also have Iron Man and Thanos coming up, but Thor right now is the only one that we've kind of seen. And they unveiled it yesterday. So we got to see it for the first time. So right now it's looking like same metallic red as the Dr. Ock. It's the same pose as one of the original 5. So Thor has already dropped from a common to a secret rare. There's 5 different variants, and this is going to be just a copy and paste to one of those, but in red. So same thing that happened with Dr. Ock, but what's everyone's thoughts on the drop? Are you guys going to be going for it? Do you like it? We'll start with Sven.
Yeah, we had some. I did see some reactions on Twitter. Did see the VeVe Meister reaction where he was okay that it was a fourth item in a row, so the same item, but he did say the 40 gems was a bit expensive. I think they just noted it that it was 40 gems for that. Did you see it?
Yeah, so I have the Medium article up right now. It's going to be 40, and edition size is going to be 444. So
400?
Yeah.
444.
Yeah, only one in the set, so it is pretty scarce. I will say that. The $40 gem point is a little high in my opinion, like what you were saying, but I think it looks good. I was kind of hoping that maybe we would see kind of a newer version or a different version of Thor. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening, so I would probably expect like just a copy and paste version of Thanos and Iron Man. I'm not sure what Iron Man they would use, Golden Moments or the other one that they've dropped, but that's what I'm expecting for the other two. But yeah, are you going to be going for it, Sven?
Well, if it's 40 gems, I will have some doubts going for it, but it's 444 editions, so it's quite scarce. But the only thing I have the feeling is maybe they already had those items and then just suddenly decided not to let them add into their drops. It could be better if they just dropped the Thor and then dropped like 200 of those red chase variants into the drop to make it a bit more fun. But for 40 gems, I'm not considering to go for it. It's a bit too expensive. What do you think? Will you go for it?
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm pretty much in the same boat. 40 is a little much for me. I'm not too interested in the piece, but I think it looks good. I think if anyone wants to or has all 5 of the original, and they want to complete the 6th one, then hey, by all means go for it. But yeah, nothing I'm going to be grabbing, but Looks good.
Although I'm for the Iron Man, I'm very curious which one they will use. If it was
Yeah.
the Golden Moment one, I would really consider to get it because it's so iconic, the first appearance. And if I had a red one of those, maybe I will get it for 40 gems. If they drop the animated, which they probably won't drop because it's animated, so is there another Iron Man on the app? The Funko Pop, but that one they won't make red probably.
There's the Marvel Mighty, but yeah, I think it would probably be one of the other realistic looking ones. I was going to say something. I'm reading this this article right here, and it says it's a con exclusive. So I don't know if anyone wants to drop something in the comments as to why it says that, but I don't understand why this Thor is a con exclusive. Isn't Comic-Con done?
Well, they give it a CE tag when they drop it on events. So I think that's the reason why they give it a con exclusive tag.
Oh, I see. Interesting. I wonder if that is the answer. But yeah, first available public edition is going to be 21. So they're only holding back the 20, and then the minimum MCP bid is going to be 5,000 points. So that's going to be that one. Any last points, Sven, about this one before we move on?
No, the main thing is I'm very curious about the Iron Man, which one they will drop. That's the main thing for me. That's the main item for me from those items. The Thanos one could be cool too, to be honest. Yeah, could be nice to have those one. I don't know how many editions of the Thanos there were, but maybe this will be the scarcest Thanos there will be. So maybe that's something to consider too for Marvel fans.
What's going to be interesting too is to see how these perform in the secondary, just because there is the only one in the set and the edition size is relatively low. So whether it goes below 40 or not, I don't know. But best of luck to everyone going for it. As for the next drop happening here, what do we got? So they VeVe ended up unveiling this Disney digital comics. So Donald the Champion. Looks like Donald is he competing in the Olympics? He's in some track. Have you seen this one at all?
No, not yet. I didn't see that one.
So we got a sketch cover, which is going to be the secret rare. VeVe was also promoting that individually. It's going to be 125 editions of those, and then the common has 3,000. So total edition size is 5,000. Typical price for a comic, which is just seven gems. And then the first available public edition is 158. So I missed something there. I had no idea why, but let me skim this article real quick, because that's a really random number, but they're holding back quite a few for this. So on to the next one, we got a Tarzan comic dropping. Shout out to Double Quill if you're still stacking those. I know you're a big fan of the uncommons. Different art style offered in these, so if you guys want some a little different, go for them. Pretty affordable too in the market, whether you're going for a common or a secret rare. But published in 1973, total edition size is 2,000, minimum bid of 5,000, and then again, first edition for public sales 149. Sven, do you know why they're holding back so much for these comics? Because I definitely missed something here.
I think they always do that for comics. I think
That
they
much?
always. I think they always get 150 of those. Don't know if Xhibition knows it. Exhibition Richard?
Yes.
No. Yeah,
Yes.
so he's a comics guy, so maybe he knows it. But I think 150 editions is the normal amount they hold back. Not sure, but I think so.
Well, hey, pardon my ignorance. If that is the case, then ignore me. But we'll move on to the next one here. Jawas. Okay, this is an interesting one. Next Star Wars drop, they unveiled the Sandcrawler. It was, a few weeks now? Over a month ago. And when they had initially unveiled that, there was speculation about how there might be more in the set, and there might be, you know, some Jawas that come with the Sandcrawler, and then they end up unveiling it, and there's nothing else with it really, right? So they now announced these. There's 3 in the set. None are animated, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that one was going to be, but we have a common, rare, and a secret rare. They're going to be dropping for 10 gems. So that is going to be a price point that allows people to stack them. And then I think the total edition size, bear with me for 1 second here. I know the common is 8,888. So there's quite a few of these. Remaining 5,809. Yeah, 8,888. The rare has 5,555. So what are we at? Like 14,000. And then the secret rare 222. So secret rare offers scarcity if you guys want to try and, you know, gamble for the mint number. If you guys want to go for numbers and just stack a bunch of them, like the Stormtroopers or the Sentinels, I think Richard talked about doing that. Then you guys can do that as well. So.
Yeah, and they already in the market, so you can already get them in the market. So it's about 2-3 gems for a common.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question. Actually, is did you end up going for the drop, and if you did, how'd you do?
Well, I'm out of money, so I'm out of cash. But next week when my consultations go on my bank account, the first thing I'll do is get 10 or 15 of those Jawas. And you know, first of all, I have to say congratulations to you because your country won the Hammerstroke prize. Yeah,
I don't even know what is Hammerstroke. What is that?
Yeah, it's the thing is they throw the ball with the thread as far as possible.
Oh, it's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, and Canada just won the gold medal.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes,
Summer Olympics isn't typically our strong suit. Winter is where we shine. But yeah, that's awesome.
Although you guys did win something, and for the Jawas, Josh, did someone already try to put a common, an uncommon, and a secret rare before the crawler? Because maybe there could be an interaction that if you put them in front of them, maybe hundreds of them start to appear. That would be a cool thing.
Be a good bang for your buck there, yeah.
Like the Mad Contact drop, where you could put something in front of the other thing, and it starts to interact. So if VeVe could do that, it would be so cool.
So what Sven's talking about here isn't actually that far-fetched, because back in season 1, there was the Ghost Trap and the Slimer from Ghostbusters, so they were interactive. So what happened was if you put the Slimer up to the Ghost Trap would kind of suck the Slimer in. So they do have that interactivity feature. Obviously, you can drive the cars around as well. So that's another example. But I mean, you're reminding me of some other speculation back when the Sandcrawler dropped, because people were like, oh, what if the doors open and then like 50 crawl out of the Sandcrawler? That never ended up happening. So I doubt that's going to happen, but hey, you never know in the future. You never know in the future, man. I wouldn't put it past VeVe. So,
yeah, or if you put them in 3 in front of the door and you open the doors, but are those doors interactable from the Jawas?
The Sandcrawler, the back of it like opens and closes. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe they could get an interaction in there. So if you put 3 in front of them, rare, common, secret rare, and you open it, the ship is full of Jawas. But yeah, that would be too much asked for this moment. But maybe in the future, we'll never know. VeVe can do things we don't expect. So maybe in the future.
Says the guy with 500 T-Rex on VeVe. We got Ozman in the building. What's going on, brother? Standard host for the show, but he couldn't make it today. Hope your weekend's going well. Oh, we got a request. And it's him, the man himself. Did I bring him up here? Oz, can you hear us?
Well, our familiar voice will come back within a few minutes. Ozman, he's such a cornerstone. If you see what he does, his voice, we miss him already.
I saw his mic going on and off there, so might be the space. I know Twitter's been acting a little weird lately, but what was I going to mention? Something else. Oh, here's my second point about the Sandcrawler. Okay, David, back when the Sandcrawler dropped, David made the comment about how this is going to be one of the best or highly sought after collectibles on the platform. And I'm pretty sure he said the same thing with the Little Mermaid drop. So if there's more coming for the Sandcrawler, I guess that comment would kind of make sense. Well, I don't know if it makes sense, but it makes sense why he said it. That if there's more coming, but if it's just the Jawas that are coming that you can pair it with the Sandcrawler, then no, I don't think it's going to be one of the best on the platform. But what's your thoughts on that, Sven? You think there's more coming? And if so, what do you think it could be?
Well, we have to be always a bit careful with what David says, because at Auxerre he did tell us that that the Juggernaut was the most beautiful collectible he had ever had in the app. So, the positive thing is he's always very positive about his items, but we always have to take it with a little pinch of salt, probably, but. If he says the Sandcrawler is one of the best, maybe in the VeVeverse it could look better than we think. And he's always ahead of us, so he's always 6 months ahead of us. So he knows things, and he knows things we don't know. So maybe there's more to that thing. But for the moment, we just keep it with a little recycle bin. big recycle for us.
It's exactly that. He's ahead of us. He gets to see these collectibles in the VeVeverse and the final kind of the final product. So he's kind of getting mixed up in that. But we got Ozman up on stage now. Oz, is your mic working? Can you hear us?
Okay, let's try that.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, you guys hear me right?
Yes, sir.
I'm good. Ha! Take that, Elon. You can't keep me out of this space. How are we, guys? How is everybody?
Yeah, we're chilling. Just talking. We were talking about some of the recent comics drop in, and now we're on the Jawas.
Ooh, Jawas. Dootity.
Yeah.
So how savage did everyone get? Because I was looking in the market, and yeah, they got absolutely destroyed.
Dude, I heard people I think Rolex picked up 70. I heard. So yeah, people were smashing the buy now button.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some people have, Rolex went for 70, got whole commons and rares, and didn't get one secret rare or something like that. A lot of people sunk some big money into this and got nothing.
Yeah, 70 I think he bought in one secret rare, which is crazy. But how'd you end up doing? Did you go for it or?
No, I was tempted to, but then I sort of got sidetracked with life, so I kind of missed out on the drop. But yeah, it's probably a good thing I did, because last time I looked in the market, they're going for 3 gems or something ridiculous.
Yeah. Let me check that actually right now.
Maybe Ozman, his wife, told him, Ozman, there's one thing you can buy on the market. That's that alien thing. And the next one will be the Predator. And until we buy our house, you cannot go on VeVe anymore.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's Alien Xenomorph ranked about everything. I finally got the cash together. I saw a mint number I liked, and I just went, yeah, that'll do. So now I can proudly say I've got my Xenomorph in preparation of Alien Romulus, which comes out in about 2 weeks, I believe. And that looks absolutely amazing. So I'm actually buzzing for that one.
Yeah, the detail on that piece looked incredible, for sure.
Yeah,
you need one of those in your collection. So that's awesome. And by the way, anybody who's enjoying the space, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and retweet the space. That would be a big help. I see Acro down there. Shaniku, Felix, VeVe NFT Comics. How's it going? I hope that that Apple Vision Pro is still treating you well. We got Guri, Dokta Strange, all the familiar faces.
Yeah, we got all the cool kids in the house. How are we, guys? So sorry, I can't stick around for very long because I'm doing in life stuff tonight. But yeah, just wanted to just pop in real quick, say hi, just let everyone know, like, I'm still here, still doing stuff. It's just it's life at the moment. But like Josh was saying, like, give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe, retweet, all that fun stuff. Support everybody in the space, and let's keep the positivity rolling. And Josh, you're doing an awesome job hosting in my absence. And thank you so much for stepping in.
Of course, I appreciate you trusting me with it.
Absolutely. So, what have we spoke about so far? Like, I can stick around for a little bit.
Yeah. So, well, hang on. Before we get into that, are you willing to give us a little sneak peek of what you're working on, or are you keeping that completely private?
Ooh.
Up to you.
Why not? It's for a coming episode of Get to the Comics. So I'm doing a pre-recorded live stream with a guest that unfortunately can only come in about an hour or so. So stay tuned for that, because that will be dropping in the next week or two.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah. So what we've covered so far is the Metallic Red series. So the return of that.
Oh yeah.
We covered the new Disney comic, the Donald, Donald the Champion.
Yep.
And then we also covered the Tarzan comic, and then moved on to the Jawas. So.
Okay. So I'm assuming, for starters, no one's overly excited about the Tarzan comic other than Double Quill.
I said that as well. But different art style. So if you want something a little different, I mean, the Tarzan comics were for the longest time kind of like the only alternative to the Marvel comics on the platform. So
that's very true.
Unique art style.
Yeah. What about that? But the red Thor looks interesting. I believe, what's that? Secret rare with 444 editions.
Yeah, so we were saying how the edition size is appealing, but the price point's a little high for Sven and I. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, was it 40 gems? If I remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit steep.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little steep, and the other point that I had too is that I was kind of hoping, which I don't know why I was thinking this way, because for Dr. Ock, they just did like a copy and paste and just made him red, but it was it's the same Thor. I was kind of expecting a different Thor.
Well, that's basically all they've done, is just basically taking the collectible, the common Thor that we've got in the app already, and just basically spray paint him red.
Yeah, and now we come back to that whole topic about timing again, because I feel like if they did drop this closer to the original 5, I wouldn't have the same reaction. It's just the time in between has been so long. So, but other than that, I think it looks good red. I'm not going to be going for it personally, but
no, me neither. So what do you reckon? Like, just would have been a fair price point for this then? Maybe maybe 20?
Yeah, I was thinking like 25, 30, even 30 might be a little. Yeah, 25, somewhere around there. But
yeah. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, anything said on this channel is not classed as financial advice. So do what you will with your own money. We're just people talking on the internet and just talking about things that we like to collect and things that may or may not happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't have any of your soundboard sounds, or like your. I felt so bad because I was saying, "Oh, Dokta's in the space now," so I can say it again. But I had his song ready to play. And because I'm on PC to host the space, I have to play this song on my phone to the mic, right? So I sent it over to my drive to download it on my phone, and I ran out of storage. So I was like, damn it. Talk about bad timing.
No.
Yeah, I have to clear my phone, and then I'll make sure I have it for another show if I host. But
well, that's all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, fear not, because Dokta's intro song will be used when we get this episode eventually to YouTube. So make sure you get over to the Web V Collective's YouTube channel, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and you'll be able to catch the replay there, and also Dokta's awesome work.
There we go. Yeah, awesome work. If you guys don't toss him a follow, make sure to. He's doing some incredible work right now. He's putting in the time as well, the effort. Have to respect it.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, so in terms of our next topic here, Sven, do you have any other points you want to add about the Jawas, or are you good to move on to the next topic?
I'm good.
Alrighty. Well, our next.
So have you? So I got one. Have you done a little bit of market watch about the Jawas, what they're sitting at in the market?
I was actually doing that. I got sidetracked. Let me search that again.
Okay. Because I'm looking in the market right now, so if you want, I can quickly jump in and tell you where we're at.
Yeah, and then then we'll add in now this music for the market at this moment. And we give up.
That's it. Unfortunately, I don't have my soundboard up and running at the moment. But we can play around. We can speculate. Do 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 do. Yeah, that's my pretty poor attempt. But we have our. I also love the names of these Jawas as well. Very very original. So we have our common Jawa, which is apparently called Jawa number
I didn't
3.
even notice that. What the hell?
Yeah, they just got numbers. They almost sound like prisoners or convicts or something. Jawa number 3, step forward. Jawa number 3, our common is currently sitting for 2 gems and 40 frags on the floor. So going from its drop price of 10 gems, that is not doing overly great. And our rare, which is Jawa number 1. He is going for 3 gems and 50 frags on the floor. So if you're looking to pick yourself up a Jawa in the market, they're all very, very affordable. Now, the secret rare Jawa number 2, is currently going for 209 gems on the floor. So if you manage to land yourself a Jawa number 2, you're doing all right.
Wait, so here's another question. Because why are they out of order? Why is the common number 3, the rares number 1, and the secret rares number 2?
I have no idea.
Is the secret rare special in some way?
As far as I know, it's not. I mean, all it's just got the scarce what's it? Edition size, and that's about it.
Oh, we got another
let me just bring up the other.
Dokta's coming up to the stage.
Whee!
Yeah, interesting drop.
Oh, is he up there? Dokta, how are you, mate?
Yo, what's going on?
Going good, mate. Going good. So just dropping in for a little bit before I have to get to the comics. But how's things, mate?
That's what's up, man. Just wanted to come up and thank Josh, you, for all the kind words. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, brother. I feel bad, man, that I forgot to play or that I couldn't play the song. So next time. But yeah, no, I was listening to it the other day while Sven and I were playing Fortnite for like 3 hours, so just on a repeat.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm multitasking at the moment. Oz, how do I add you as co-host here?
As a co-host, you should be able to just send me a co-host request, but I can only stick around for a little bit longer though before I gotta shoot off. But I can. Oh, there it is. I can co-host for a little bit while I'm
I
here.
just feel bad having you in your own space and you're not a host.
That's all right. Well, I said I'm taking a step back. I'm giving you the reins for a bit. See what you can do. Do me proud.
Oh, it's a test. It's a test. I see.
I said. It's like this is your test, son. So you go forth. So you are ready. You're strong with the force.
Love it.
No, mate. No, you're doing a great job, mate. No,
Appreciate it.
Keep it up.
Thank you. Well, let's move over to the next topic then. Let's keep this going. Well, we're gonna move over to D23, Disney's convention coming up that VeVe is going to be attending. So there's a bit of news around that. I know that there was some photos circulating around the location of the VeVe booth at the venue. They're kind of mushed between the what looks like a car show happening at the venue and then the Pixar booth. But apparently, and this came from My Collectibles, the booth is going to be about double the size of what just happened over in San Diego, because I know there were some comments about the size of the booth there, how it's smaller this year, how they weren't part of Marvel's booth, which is another topic we can get into. But yeah, they're going to be on their own again, and it's going to be a larger booth. So this is So this is where they announced the 3 metallic red collectibles to continue the metallic red series. So we have the Thor that was already unveiled, and then we have the Iron Man and the Thanos coming, which we talked a bit about as well. And then it looks like they are going to be dropping some of the exclusive comics from San Diego at this event as well. So we have the first one is going to be Deadpool #1. So you have the option of either, I think it's one or the other, right? Yeah. So you have the option of grabbing the VeVe variant with the VeVe logo on the back, or both that version and the Virgin variant. So pretty much just the art, no writing.
That's right.
You can pick up one for 20 or two for 50. And yeah, any thoughts on that comic? Do you guys have one on VeVe?
I do. I've got that one. The first appearance of Blind Owl.
Yep. First appearance of Blind Owl.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, that's it. I thought there was another one, but
no, but there's more. There's more.
There is more.
There's also Wolverine number 88, which is the first the first meeting or first battle of Wolverine and Deadpool. And same deal. You can get just the VeVe variant for $20, or you can get both the VeVe variant and the VeVe Virgin variant for $50.
And I don't know about you guys,
And
that Virgin variant, I love that cover. That looks so cool.
It does look very cool.
The art on it.
Yeah, and if anyone who's seen the latest Wolverine and Deadpool movie, they're basically a re with like blades and swords and stuff sticking out of each other.
Just a quick tangent for a sec. I still haven't seen the movie, and oh my lord, the amount of spoilers on X and YouTube, man.
What?
I'm scrolling, and then all of a sudden there's a clip from the movie. I'm like covering my eyes. Just keep scrolling. I'm like, why are people posting this?
Oh yeah, but yeah, man, it's like a landmine out there for spoilers at the moment. They're like everywhere.
Yeah. So I won't spoil anything, but unfortunately, I did have part of the movie already ruined for me. But it is what it is.
Yeah, well, internet. What can we say?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a dangerous place.
Yeah, that's social media. But yeah, we have another exclusive comic dropping as well. Another one from San Diego, but it's going to be the Amazing Spider-Man number 252. This one, though, is not available as a bundle. So it's only the physical, but no Virgin variant. So just the one for 20. And this was actually, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but this dropped a while back, I think, right? And
yes,
I think this was like one of the first 1,000 run copies on the platform, I think.
Yep, no, that's correct.
So the secret rare is really limited, but this is going to be I think the rare, or the ultra rare, sorry, exclusive cover. So
that's right. Yeah, the exclusive cover by Philip Tan and that's, you know what I mean. Yeah, for a long time that was our first 1,000 edition comic, and it had a very, very high validation for ages until all of a sudden the market started getting diluted. So I think it's come down quite a lot now.
Right, yeah. I remember that's the one with the black suit on the front, I think, right? The common.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Alrighty, and then two others. We have X-Men number 141 and 142. By the way, not to shill some of my content, but I'm going to shill some of my content real quick. I did a video talking about pretty much all these exclusive covers. I dove into like the backstory a little bit. This was, I want to say 2 weeks ago, so like 3 or 4 episodes ago. So if you guys want to watch some of that in kind of like a video format, feel free to. But I kind of walk through these comics and the backstory as well. They're connected. So the story kind of runs from issue 141 into 142. And that is all I will say about that. I don't want to kind of give away anything else about the story, but Oz, do you have anything to add?
Me personally, I did actually do a reading of these two comic books over on the first iteration of Get to the Comics, which was Relax and Read. So that is also available over on Ozman Collect 63's YouTube channel if anyone wants to check that out.
There you go.
But yeah, it like you said, it more or less just covers basically the Days of Future Past storyline, which if you've seen X-Men Days of Future Past is more or less is a very like sort of rough outline of what that is.
Oh, that's right. It's the first appearance of the Days of Future Past timeline. That's probably a big.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so you have those two. And then that looks like it is going to be it for D23 exclusives, unless I am. Oh, D23 Gold members will be able to redeem a 3D digital collectible of the D23 logo with a premium finish, while general members can redeem standard version. Plus, if you're a D23 and Disney Plus subscriber, you will be given an additional logo. So a total of 250 redemptions are going to be given out that day, and it looks like it's limited at the 250. So interesting.
It's a very, very
it's probably
cool.
just going to be we got VeVe logos, but
But we've got Richard. Richard's coming off the stage. Richard, how are you, sir?
Good evening, everyone, or good morning, where you are in the world. Hi. I just wanted to say something about the 141 and 142, the Days of the Future Past. It's 141 was the last one, was called X-Men, and 142 was the first one was called Uncanny X-Men, and then from then on, all the X-Men that came before that were also called Uncanny X-Men. I don't know, time travel or something, but so 141 is the last one that's called X-Men, and 142 is the first one that's called.
There you go. Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. I love little fun facts like that. That's awesome. No, I appreciate you sharing that.
That's cool. So, Richard, have you been, sir? So, have you been picking up anything in the market, adding to your collections? Been diving into those new X-Men comics? So, what's been happening with you?
I'm completely broke. Again. No, yeah, but the whole San Diego Comic-Con, I just spent all my money. Bought a shitload of Sentinels. I got 60 of them.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't even buy any comics last Wednesday because I was a bit occupied with other stuff. So I need to read the new X-Force because X-Force came out last Wednesday. I still hadn't had a chance to. I had a chance, but I was a bit busy with work, and then I did some relaxing, and I was reading some old comics, older comics, like Midnight Suns. I think there's a video game of it, Midnight Suns.
There is, yes.
Yeah, so
yes, that's very true.
I was reading that one, and then I was reading it, and I was like, wait a minute, I've already read this one. That happens a lot.
It's like, wait, this looks kind of familiar. Oh, god damn it.
Yeah. But I didn't buy anything on the market this week. No Star Wars for me. And what other drops were there this week?
We had the Disney comic, and then we had has the Disney comic dropped yet? Yeah, I think it did, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It dropped before. We've had what have we had? We've had the Disney comic. We've had the Amazing Spider-Man #9, which is the first appearance of the Spider-Verse. Right. And I believe before that was
that's cool.
And before that we had Spider-Man Reign #1.
Oh, is that the first appearance? Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. I like the Spider-Verse.
But now, just on the subject of comics, and because you being the X-Men fan that you are, we do have X Factor #6 coming on the 8th of August, which is the first appearance of Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? I do think drop-wise is going to be a failure, I suppose, because it's not going to sell out, and nobody has any money anymore, and it is $10. So the time is a bit off, but it is good.
That's right.
It's good for me because I like those kind of drops because I'm just going to pick them up on the market, and they're going to be rare. As in, they don't sell a lot, so maybe there's only 1,500 on the market, and then if you have a couple of them, it's just a couple of 1,500. So they're going to be rare. But X Factor #6, first appearance of Apocalypse. X Factor was created because they wanted to have the original, the 05. And on X Factor #1, it also says on the cover, because you guys demanded it. So the old team came back. And obviously there was already an X-Men team. So they created X Factor as the 05 team. And then you got Apocalypse. And Apocalypse, I think Apocalypse is maybe the villain in X-Men. Maybe even better, because Magneto, I don't think he's a villain anymore. He's just I don't know. He's been good since when? after Grant Morrison's run, so maybe I don't know, 2004, 2005. Then Cyclops had his villain arc, and then Magneto was like, "Whoa, Cyclops, you're taking it too far." And then obviously he got Krakoa, so he was definitely not a villain in that. Nobody was a villain in that, I suppose. And
also, don't forget as well that there seems like at the end of they're also going to be setting him up for a role in the second season of X-Men '97 as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. That's going to be fantastic because that's where you find him in the comics. So he's obviously the first mutant, right? So he's rejected by his own tribe because he looks weird, and they're like, you look weird, so they kick him out, and then they.
You look kind of funny.
Yeah, and then he goes to I think it's called the Sandstormers or something. The Sand People, Sandstormers, well, desert, and then he's going to hang with them, and then he later on he was actually not that apocalypse as he is now, as in the sort of Darwinism, survival of the fittest. He was actually a bit more well, how would you say it, nice. He was more nice. But the thing with him is that so Apocalypse, he obviously believed that everyone has to adapt, and for him, and at the time, so with the Sand People, you got the Ramatut kind of thing, and which Kane the Conqueror, and he kicks him out and he takes over, and that's where Apocalypse starts to become Apocalypse. Apocalypse gets, because Apocalypse is a bit of a simp. He becomes Apocalypse because he's got rejected by a girl.
So he's hurt and he's just looking to vent his frustration.
Yeah, and you didn't have schools back then, so he just took over the whole Egypt.
That's it. It's always a way, isn't it? It's always a girl, it always causes problems, isn't it?
That's how
she hurts his feeling that he goes on a murderous rampage or whatever.
Yeah. And but then Apocalypse, he finds a ship from a celestial ship, and he's trying to figure everything out, but he doesn't understand the technology. It's just when he gets infected by the technovirus, by Cable, because Cable is created by Sinister, right? Because Madeline Pryor and Cyclops, but Sinister created Cable to kill Apocalypse. That's why they are so connected with each other. He's basically the Drax to Thanos, because Drax in the comics is different than in the movies. Drax is also Drax the Destroyer. He has to destroy Thanos, and Cable was the same thing. Cable was created by Sinister to stop Apocalypse, because Sinister and Apocalypse were buddies until even for Sinister, Apocalypse went too far. So then he tried to stop Apocalypse by creating a super mutant, which is Cable. But Cable got that technovirus. So here's becomes interesting. Cable goes back in time because Apocalypse, he is an external, which is a subspecies of the mutants, which means he doesn't age, and he doesn't die, but he needs to rest from time to time. He goes into a slumber, and so the last time he went into slumber was in the 1900s, and he should be back in 2100. Obviously, something happened and came back earlier. But Cable went back in time to one of those slumber periods, and he infected him with that technovirus, and thinking that will kill him. But what happened was that Apocalypse, because he's so adaptable, his mutant power is that he can shapeshift, but he shapeshifts his own atoms. So he absorbed that technovirus, and instead of making him sick, it's making him stronger. He adapts to it. So they kind of become one. Then he goes back to the celestial ship. And then he starts to understand the ship thanks to that technovirus. That technovirus is from, I don't know, am I going too far now? Because the technovirus is from Phalanx. And the Phalanx, that is an offshoot from the species of Warlock. You know that Warlock guy?
Yeah. I remember Warlock. He's the yellow fellow with the black sort of like crissy-crossy bits all through him.
So, and the Phalanx, there's an artificial intelligence. There's basically a offshoot from Warlock. And what the Phalanx do is they take everything over, all the universe, because they want to gain knowledge and they want to control knowledge.
Right.
So
they're basically the X-Men equivalent of like the Borg, like from Star Trek.
I have no idea.
This wait. I'm expecting Hino to come running up to the stage now.
So what the Phalanx do is they go to new worlds to find knowledge, and if they deem it appropriate, they absorb it. If they go like, this is shit, they put a technovirus in that world and destroying it, and that technovirus is what is infected Cable. So Cable goes back in time trying to kill Apocalypse. He adapts to it. Now he understands that celestial ship and the technology. And with that is now his new blood, I suppose. He creates a celestial armor. So that armor that he has, so he becomes even more powerful. It is even... so if Apocalypse dies, he's just obliterated. You just need a drop of blood to throw it on some bones. It doesn't even have to be his own bones, because his blood and the technovirus that would just override the genetic code. So he would just emerge given time. So Cable went back and then he adapted to it. But then later in our time, Apocalypse gave the technovirus to Cable so that Cable can go back in time to infect Apocalypse. Yeah.
It's like, is everybody keeping up here?
Yeah, comics, everyone. Now ask me who Shatter's grandfather is.
That's it. Sorry, I just noticed, Doctor, you had your hand up a little while ago. You had something you wanted to add to the conversation? Oh, Doctor, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, man. I'm in a bad spot. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah, mate. No, we got you. So I was just saying, you know, she had your hand up a little while ago. Was there something you wanted to add in on?
Added it. I mean, I raised my hand back when we were still talking about D23 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I've been kind of waiting for a long time for them to do those Disney 100 Marvel comic crossover books on the app. So I'm hoping maybe they drop that. You know, that'd be a good time.
Ooh, I'd really like those too. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I love them as well.
Yeah, that was it.
No, very cool. All right. Well, unfortunately, guys, I got to go because my guest is just about ready. But again, Richard, thank you so much for that story, that enlightening journey of Apocalypse and the Thalex and everything else in between. I'm pretty sure I probably got lost halfway through it, but I'll catch on the replay and try and catch up.
Well, there's more to come.
I'll bet there's more to come. But anyway, guys, yeah, like I said, I got to go. But yeah, Josh, you're doing a fantastic job, mate. Keep doing what you're doing. Big thank you to everyone who's tuning in. Big thank you to anyone who tunes in after I leave. And yeah, like I said before, I will after the space is all done and dusted, I will get it up on the YouTube channel as soon as I can. So if you missed anything, you can jump in there.
Love it. Let's go. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Let's go.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
I will, Josh.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty. All right. So I think we covered everything from D23, all the exclusives, the spot that they're located. Sven, I don't know if you're still. I see you're still on stage here. I think you had a comment or some sort of point that you wanted to bring up about D23, or was it something else?
It was D23 that My Collectibles did say indeed that the booth will be bigger, but I think someone already told that in this space.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And they're and they're actually building up, so they're making their booth bigger. They will show them much more, and we think they will slowly build up to higher highs. So yeah, that was the thing about D23 I wanted to mention. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, while we're on that topic, I know that there was the comment raised in the community about, why do they have a smaller booth this year at San Diego? MC did say that the booth is going to be bigger at D23, but he made the comment about how, if they were part of Marvel this year, it would have been awesome. They had an awesome booth, tons of traffic. It's just, if they had a big line at the Marvel booth, it would have been all Marvel conversations. And so this was kind of their first event that I'm aware of where they kind of branched off on their own. And so they kind of had their own booth. It was smaller this year, but they were still able to kind of, generate the traffic when they needed to. And all the conversations pertained to VeVe. It wasn't just Marvel. So that's what I heard My Collectibles say in I think it was Randy's live stream. But yeah, something to consider there. But that is going to be everything for D23, I believe. Moving on to another topic here. It's going to be a short one, but I wanted to get some opinions of those on stage. I know that VeVe was handing out these Stark tokens several weeks back. I didn't claim the tokens right away because I saw like the notice on the web app, but I didn't know if it was like legit or not until I saw the tweet that VeVe had put out. Have you guys received your tokens? Because I saw some people talking about them getting them. I have not, so.
You're not eligible in America, so no for me.
No for you. Sven, did you end up applying for the tokens?
Well, I went to the spot to claim them, so I did claim them, but I don't know where I claimed them, so I have a problem with that. But I think I made an account on StarkNet, and then I got a wallet. But now I'm afraid I have to link it with MetaMask, and I'm afraid they will going to do some things in my wallet. And I think Xhibition is doing something with security now with Superstar Money. Maybe he could give a bit of advice about that too, but I always have the feeling if I have to accept something in my MetaMask wallet, they're gonna take all the cash out of it. But so I didn't go to the StarkNet wallet yet, so I have to look if those tokens are there. But I'm a bit afraid. Yeah, I have some doubts with it.
Yeah. So, okay. So when you apply for the token, did you just put in your wallet ID though? Like you said, you created a wallet.
Yeah, I created a wallet on StarkNet because you had to send them to a wallet that could get the Stark tokens, and you could not get them in the MetaMask wallet, I think.
I see.
So I created a StarkNet wallet.
I was curious because I don't know too much about the tokens or why we're being given them or anything like that. Maybe it's a utility in the future. No idea. I never received mine, so I don't know exactly what the qualifications were, but yeah, I was just curious about that. But anyways, moving on. Randy ended up hosting a live stream. Sorry, Richard, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything with security and stuff. I do have the tokens, but I'm a total crypto noob. So
so Xhibition, but you're Richard and Xhibition, but there's a Richard in this space.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, different Richard.
Yeah.
And I think this Richard is doing something with Superstar Money and doing something about safety on the Web 3 side.
Yeah, that might be true. Yeah, but I switched my my tokens for Ethereum, and I leave them on. I got this Bravos wallet, I believe, and I leave them on there because I also don't want to connect it with my other stuff, so I just leave it there. It's only $50 or something.
Yeah. So Richard, do you know why we were given the tokens? Because I missed that as well.
Oh, it's just StarkNet. They do that with all the projects. Like, hey man, you want to have our tokens, and they just hand them out to everyone.
Oh,
so they were pestering VeVe for a long time, and then there were some guys in the community who were like, hey man, we get free stuff, and then VeVe's like, okay, and they were way later because 2 or 3 months before all other projects were getting the Stark net tokens. So that's why you can see it on the chart that it drops significantly like 2-3 months ago. That's when all the other projects receive them and then immediately upload them. And I did the same thing.
Fair. All right, good to know. By the way, shout out to Evolve down in the crowd. We got Richard down there as well. Sven, that's the Richard you were referring to.
Yeah, it was Richard, but what is it? Is that a peanut with a halo around it?
I don't
that's
know.
the Richard. That's the Richard I was meaning.
Yes. And just for some context, Richard, he was just talking about the security and everything that you were promoting before. So I don't know if you want to come up on stage and talk about that for a minute or not, but feel free to listen in if not. But yeah, I was just interested about those tokens. I didn't know anything about them, so good to know.
Yeah, and like Xhibition, Richard, he didn't link it with his MetaMask, so he had some doubts too. So the question is now, will I link it with my MetaMask? And is it a smart thing to link the Starknet with my MetaMask? Maybe Richard could come up and tell me if it's a good thing, or maybe I should do it on a separate wallet. If he can come up, or if he wants, he's ready to welcome to join.
We shall see. We got the open invite out there. Moving on to our next topic, Mr. MC1 and Randy, and again, forgive me for the third name that I'm forgetting here, but all three of them ended up running a stream. I believe it was yesterday. And on the stream, they talked about a variety of different things. And a couple points I want to highlight here. So there was one question that was brought up about halfway through the live stream. Kind of asking, how to get more 20, 25-year-olds, the younger generation involved in the community and with VeVe more. And I think actually one of the people speaking mentioned that they had a son and a daughter who was, I think it was 22 or 24 and 27. So I wanted to speak on this a little bit because I'm right in that bracket, and although I don't really like talking about my age, gaming to me is like ringing in my ears every single time I hear somebody ask this question. And that kind of brings us to, we got Richard here. Bring him up on stage. And that's going to kind of bring us into a couple other topics, because there was one question asked in the last 24 hours around whether the VeVeverse should be abandoned or not. That's something I want to talk about as well. But in terms of gaming and getting our user base just more involved, offering more fun, that's pretty much the answer to that question. I know they talked a little bit more in depth on the live stream, but the thing with VeVe, and it made me think a lot about, season 1 and season 2, the good old days back in the day for anyone who was there. It made me think about how, if you were with the app since that long, you've gone through a bunch of different hurdles with, the buy now button having a bunch of bugs, you getting kicked out of the app, the servers, having issues, whatever it is, right? And VeVe, when we started having that bull run and all the prices and everything shot up, VeVe was really fun. Drop after drop, you would go for every single drop. If you didn't get it, there was that real feeling of, you missed out. Damn it, I didn't get it, right? If you got it, you were freaking out like you won the lottery. And for a lot of those older people on the platform, that fun has kind of gone away a little bit because the use cases are the exact same. So we have the Vault and the AR, which we had, back in season 1 and season 2. So when I say gaming is the answer, it's because the gaming mixed with the virtual environment offers endless applications. And when you mix endless applications with our community, you're going to have so much that kind of comes from that. More interactivity, you're going to have more user-generated content. Because of that, you're going to have more entertainment for people who may not even want to, create content to watch. And it's just this whole waterfall effect. So we'll get more into that in one sec, but we got Richard up on stage. So what's going on, Richard? Can you hear us?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good. Yeah, well, Sven, great question. I just want to say I'm not a security expert. I'm just trying to push it onto the community because I learned a lot in the last year. Maybe I'm an intermediate, maybe, but I just learned so much. I'm like, more people should know about this. So, yeah, I hope you guys do look at my pinned post about the security initiatives. And as far as your question, I would highly recommend creating a separate seed phrase wallet. So use a different profile on your browser, or you can use a totally different browser and just create a new MetaMask with a different seed phrase, and then use that as your degen. I don't know too much about this airdrop, although it was legit because Ecomi posted about it. But yeah, I can't say too much about it. Seems legit, but I think that's the safest thing is install Wallet Guard or Pocket Universe and use a separate seed phrase wallet, a different instance of a MetaMask.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Richard. And it's like that. Would the thing you advise here, would that be a basic security? Because sometimes I feel like, why do I have to do all those things? But actually, it's a basic thing to do. Probably those things for regular Web3 users are normal, just extra web wallet that they don't use. Get it in there, and then if they want to use it or sell it in there and sell the money to another account probably.
Yeah, your question is why have multiple wallets?
No, that's for in the Web3 users, it's a normal thing to have an extra wallet not connected with anything, and then if they don't trust it, do it there. And that's something we probably need to learn a bit more.
Yeah, if you have any questions, ask me directly. That's totally fine. Or hop into Superstar Money's Discord. But yeah, ideally you want a cold storage, meaning it's not connected at all to the internet, unless you want to, make a transaction. But yeah, I'm talking more like hot wallets. If you're gonna get the airdrop, you want it like a second hot wallet, like a MetaMask, right, or a Coinbase wallet.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll post an article under the Collectors Gone Digital post for you if you want more information on it.
Yeah. Feel free to just pin anything in the top there.
Cool.
Thank you, Richard.
No problem.
Love it. And there we go. Getting jumbled up here in my notes.
No, you were talking about the getting VeVe attractive to the 35 year users.
Yes. Well, okay. So based on what I said already, Sven, do you want to add anything? Like, what are your thoughts? Because I know you're big into gaming, right? Like you and I are on Fortnite pretty much all the time. Which, by the way, I blame you for that. You got me into that game. I'm playing that way more than I should right now. But you and I are on that game. There's a ton of similarities between the IP that they offer and what VeVe has, and where VeVe can go with certain features they offer in the VeVeverse.
What would you think if Fortnite just announced a collaboration with VeVe and Fortnite said, come on, VeVe, you can link something with Fortnite and you build in Fortnite and you add your collectibles into your house, you build in Fortnite. For you, it would be the click to make, and VeVe doesn't have to be considered about a metaverse building because they have the Fortnite to add on to.
Well, so that's essentially what's already happening with Cavernous, though, right? So, Epic Games that would essentially be putting the VeVeverse on Fortnite, but like Cavernous is doing what you're just describing as Epic's job. They're doing their job, which is providing the platform for VeVe to build their product out on, and then part of that product, first phase at least, is going to be building your home and having that whole all the customizable features and options and things like that. So, I mean, that's one example right there, just like customizing your home, where someone can spend hours doing that. And somebody who's indecisive, pardon me, is going to build 10 different homes, right? So, and that's a big thing when a majority of our community right now is sitting on spaces, right? Like if I want to talk about something specific, like I know we talked about the Xenomorph, if we're in a space right now, a virtual environment, I can just pop the xenomorph right up in front and everyone can take a look at it, walk around, right? Interact with the piece, look at the details, right? And it's just that extra layer. So when I say that gaming is kind of that answer, that's where I really think VeVe's kind of moving into. And I know that David put out a slide. Was it for D23? It wasn't long ago. It was like last week where he showed gaming as one of the 3 main categories for VeVe. So yeah, I know I'm kind of going around in circles here, but what are your thoughts on all of this kind of moving into gaming?
Moving into gaming, this VeVe moving into gaming. We have those gaming things already into the app, so VeVe is getting ready. But the question is, will VeVe, they're moving into gaming, just have the collectibles and that's their link with gaming, or will they have games too?
Well, yeah, so that's what the virtual environment allows them to do, right? So if you take an example like Cryptoys. So Cryptoys, what they're doing is they're making sure that all of the toys that they release is interactive in some way in the future, right? Whether you can play it in a game, that is an example. So whether it's creating a mini game in your home space with a collectible, I mean, you could do trivia. You could do, I mean, I just put out a video with different use cases, right? When VeVe drops a collectible or makes some sort of large announcement, let's say, for example, maybe not a big announcement, but the Little Mermaid environment, right? Instead of us seeing that from a 2D image on a Twitter post, we can actually visit the actual virtual environment to see it before it actually drops. It's a way more immersive experience, right?
Yeah, that would be a good idea. So they announce something, you click on the link, you go into your VeVeverse, and you go to a main hall where they add the piece into it, and you can look around and walk around it. It's kind of that thing you want to say.
I think something to be clear about is when I say gaming, I don't mean like you running around and shooting other people to get kills and stuff like that. They're like that's an example of gaming, right? But when I think of gaming, I think of you just sitting at a monitor and controlling a 3D avatar in a virtual environment, just walking around. Even if you're walking around an art gallery, right? Like that, in my opinion, is gaming. So that's what I mean when I say that. But I know that the Superstars, they just dropped a video. I think it was yesterday now, and they titled the video something along the lines of, should VeVe kind of abandon the VeVeverse, hinting at, they should move into other things. And it ended up being like AI related. So there's been that discussion in the community before about whether VeVe is going to implement AI. If they do, how would they do it? Are our collectibles going to talk to us? Mr. MC1 was talking about how AI may be, or no, actually it was Notorious. I think I saw his comment. Maybe I'm getting the names mixed up, but somebody was talking about how AI is going to help with customization in your home space. And when they revealed the VeVeverse, they showed us that feature where we can kind of click the button and it changes textures on our walls and our floor. I think that would be an example of AI. But Sven, Dokta, Richard, Xhibition, in terms of how AI can be used in the future, do you guys have any thoughts on that? Any specific use cases? And do you guys think the VeVeverse should be abandoned in exchange for kind of more focus on AI right now? What are your thoughts? We'll start with Richard.
Well, I don't know much about gaming. I don't really game at all. But as far as goes for abandoning the VeVeverse, that sounds like a bit of nonsense because they are developing it for so long now, and it is coming and it's already here. They got the beta testers. So is that a rumor or something, or is that something Superstar Money brought up that they should abandon it?
It was just a topic that they kind of they put out on their YouTube channel, and it kind of sparked some conversation, right?
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to abandon the VeVeverse.
No,
So
and I don't think they will either. I'm in the same boat. I think they've devoted too much time and resources to the project. They're kind of a little too deep into it now. I think they should kind of just open the doors, and if it's got some bugs, it's got some bugs. But I don't think it should be anything kind of perfected. But yeah,
it's gonna take years anyway for VeVe. I think the first version of VeVeverse that's available for public is going to be a bit of a disappointment anyway, and I'm okay with that. I think it's gonna take time, and the VeVeverse is going to be cool if you got a sort of a digital city where everyone can get their own space, their own house or apartment building, whatever it is. And so then you can get these blocks. So then, for example, you can have a Web V neighborhood. And then it's going to be cool, right? Because we have got some awesome collectors in the groups. And then you can make like a city square, and then you got all the museums and collections and that sort of stuff, and then there's some nutter with 100 sentinels or something. And that's going to be the fun part of VeVeverse. And I even think in time that it's going to be, well, we always talked about Web 3, right? And I'm a layman, but I can imagine that when people come there because they want to hang out, they want to see stuff, they want to see all the mint numbers that Viva La Vivi have, for example, that will attract visitors. And in time, you can monetize that. It's the same thing as internet pages like 20 years ago or 25 or 30 years ago.
100%.
Yeah, at the beginning it was just an information page, and at some point it was like, hey man, we got all these eyes on this internet web page, and that's going to be in VeVeverse as well if they develop it that way. The first version will be a bit of a disappointment. This is not going to feel like a verse. It's just going to feel like, I don't know, your own vault, but sort of in the VeVeverse. And in time they're going to connect stuff. And I even think that McFarlane and Candy, the other bigger ones, the serious ones, maybe we can connect with each other. So you can go from one space to another. So you want to watch you want to view some X-Men stuff, you go to our neighborhood, and then you go like, all right, I'm up for some Spawn, and you just go to a digital corridor and you end up in the McFarlane space. And that would be the interesting part to see how they are going to do it. And that is kind of my vision for it.
No, I love it. No, I really hope to see stuff like that as well. All the branded showrooms and stuff like that. Yeah, I think they were teasing the Marvel branded showroom at one of the D-Cons as well. So, but Doc, do you have anything you want to add to this combo?
Not much, man. I think you guys covered it. I pretty much feel the same way about it. I doubt they would. You're trying to, but you have something else going. Either you open a new one, or you gotta walk through that door. You know what I'm saying? So if they want to take on gaming, they got to chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. Then hire the team for that, or latch on to a developer that's already out there. It's a million ways to go about it. And yeah, man, I totally agree. I think gaming is definitely a thing needed to capture that demographic. I be so much now lately. The softy about it.
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit here. I'm losing you a bit.
Yeah, it was like an ice cream truck going by, man. But yeah, I like what Crypto is doing, of course. They like it was. So I can't wait to see what they come with. And I actually just did a video / song. It's a little inspired by what they're doing with the digital toy exchange and all of that stuff, man. So yeah, put this together for them, for the fam, just shouting everybody out in the Crypto and all of that. You know, I've been out with VeVe, so I said, why not spread the love? You know what I mean? So, yeah, just check that out. Just tweeted that out like maybe an hour ago. I'm going to start putting that on all my socials. But, yeah, man, nice little joint I made. It's kind of fire, if I say so myself. But, yeah, that's it, man.
Appreciate it, brother. There you go. Click on his profile. Go check out his latest track. But we also have Guri up on stage. Guri, how you doing?
Hi, Josh. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to chime in. I love talking about new features and thought I'd put in my 2 cents.
Absolutely.
I agree with you, Josh, and almost everyone that says it's too late to back out of developing the VeVeverse, whatever that new space is going to be called, right? You put too much. I think there's a team of people working on it. It's not just 1 or 2 people they can just pull off and say, okay, now you're assigned to a new project. So they got to see this thing through. I also agree with Xhibition that says the first iteration is going to be a little bit clunky. We got to still create our own space, move things around. But I personally think it's inevitable that we're going to have a voice assist feature like a Siri or something that is going to say that you can just say, create a showroom with all my Deadpools having a party, listening to Funky Town, right? Some way of incorporating so many features in one verbal natural language command, and it's going to create the showroom for you. It's going to create a space where you can discuss things with one of you. You can go for a walk with a Wolverine. If you're walking outside, right? Have a conversation with one of your collectibles. It's going to personify and actually give each of your collectibles a persona and someone that you can talk to, and also change their persona. So that's, of course, looking 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road if VeVe is around. But I also think being a startup, they got to look at it from an exit strategy, right? Every startup has got to have an exit strategy. You got to have a way to either say, I'm going to grow this as much as I can, I'm going to go IPO and be self-sufficient, or I'm going to sell out and let Disney, Marvel, or someone else buy me out. And I think they're positioning themselves to go both routes, right? The more they have, the more they can create a case for saying, I'm going to be self-sufficient and go to the public and raise money from the financial markets, or I'm gonna sell to the highest bidder, right? If Disney comes and says I'm gonna pay you $4 billion, I'm pretty sure at some price point the co-founder is gonna say, you know what, that's $1 billion each, and the rest can go to taxes and all the other actors that are within the company. And who's gonna turn down $1 billion, right? That's more than anybody can even think of making in one lifetime. So I think that's what's going to happen. But we're gonna keep chugging along, and they're going to keep making the VeVeverse, and it's going to work for, I think, only 10-20% who have the powerful machines. That's where I think it's going to go.
Yeah. That's a good point to end off with too, is the system requirements. That's I know I was trying to bring it up a few weeks back and try and get the team to comment on it. They never really did, but the answer is pretty clear. I think Tails was also just mentioning it again the other day about how graphics are going to look better with higher systems and stuff like that. So something to consider. But yeah, in terms of just the AI talk, another thing, and I know this is actually a thing in the VeVeverse right now. You can use AI in a certain way to kind of generate your skyboxes. So the environment like around your space, if that makes sense. But so I know that's one way they've implemented already, perhaps more in the future, who knows. But Guri, you got your hand up. Got something else to add?
Oh, sorry, my hand's not anymore up. Hopefully I can.
No problem. I think that's all I wanted to talk about with that point, though. Unless Sven, did you want to add anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to add on something like what brings the crowd to VeVe, and we need to think like if you're 35 to 25 years old, and my surroundings, the people I know, what gets them hyped and what gets people hyped in the stock market is what's getting us hyped at Fortnite for the moment was the Tesla truck. So we grinded our ass off to get a Tesla truck. A Tesla truck that is not an NFT, and we worked for it hours to just get that Tesla truck because you can collect it in the Fortnite. Now the thing is, if VeVe and you see the connection between David, you and Tesla, if VeVe is able to get their collectibles just in the front screen of your Tesla car, just one in the corner or just one on the screen, could that not be like a catalyst or something that just drives the thing? So if you go on in a Tesla, you sit in front, there's a big screen, and you always have like one collectible that you can put out there. I think it would make VeVe sexy, would combine them with Tesla, and would attract young people too. Imagine if you drive your Tesla around and you have like one screen at the back, and you could put one NFT on top of that, or just a golden moment, and people would drive in the street and see, okay, that person with that Tesla owns a golden moment. I think that could be something to get us hyped and get the young people hyped, and that's something I wanted to mention too. There with the gaming, the thing that gets young people hyped. Maybe there's a connection there.
Appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, well, I mean, just to talk, I guess, about the Cybertruck for a sec here, because yeah, for those who don't know, the Cybertruck is available in Fortnite. You can get it for free, and yeah, Sven and I were playing to unlock it, and the thing is that, and I want to talk about MCP points, I guess, for a sec here, because MCP, in my opinion, is a program I've never really kind of kept my eyes on too much. And the only reason why is because there's just so many freaking numbers for me to remember. Like if you genuinely care about that program, you care about points, then you need to remember how much, you know, a common comic gives you, how much a common collectible, secret rare, uncommon, the fact that you can't, you know, double count the uncommons here, but you can there. There's just a lot of components. If we think with respect to a game like Fortnite, you log in, you complete your quests, and you unlock the cosmetics associated with those quests. Anything else with regards to your rank, the amount of XP that you're earning in the game, it's not like you need to understand the mechanics behind it all. You don't need to. You just play the game and you unlock the stuff. So I think that that's what VeVe really needs to aim towards, is they need to knock the barriers down, keep it super, super simple, and focus on like one component or one part of that program, as opposed to, I don't want to say they expect our user base to remember every single thing about it, but that's kind of the way that it's structured right now. So, but yeah, there was another thing I wanted to add there. It'll come back to me.
So you could like have 1 week, a Cybertruck week, and you could do every week one task that VeVe says, post this in the feed, make an AR picture and post it in the feed, just do a reaction in the feed, make your vault, put something in there, and you unlock every day something. And at these 7 days, you can unlock a Cybertruck NFT, maybe like that. So easy, doesn't cost a thing. At Fortnite, the truck didn't cost a thing, but you had to do all those tasks for it. So you mean that kind of stuff. Just do something basic, and after 7 days, you unlock the NFT without a cost, or maybe a small cost.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, think of V-Bucks in the game, right? It's the same thing as MCP points for VeVe. Just implement it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to complicate it. So they don't need to complicate it. Richard, this would be fun to play with each other's collectibles in AR. Polycam 3D. What is this?
It's actually they have a collaboration with Apple's SharePlay.
Okay.
So you'll see that two people are kind of like a Zoom call, but with their avatars, and they're actually playing with some digital like land. But I envision that as like someone's showroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that would be a very unique way to kind of collaborate. Like, you know, you don't have to be in a total VR. You can be like an AR space as well.
Yeah.
Would be a fun.
Yeah. Very good point. And you can augment your space in the VeVeverse into AR too. And that's actually another topic too, is co-building. That's a good point. Co-building is a whole other thing that's going to keep things, interesting for the community. I mean, gosh, I was using the example before about just popping a xenomorph in front of you guys as we're talking about it. But I mean, imagine building together as we're talking about it, or creating some sort of space or doing something together. You can run challenges that way as well. Building challenges, trivia challenges, right? And these turn into, spaces that now get hosted on X that are being streamed through the VeVeverse. Streaming is a whole other thing that's going to propel that as well. So gaming. I'm always going to say it. That's where it's leading. And I think they really need to make sure they get their foot in the door. Because if they do, it's a ton of opportunity on the other side. So.
And if you look at the thing from Richard, there's something I used to have a stock item on the NASDAQ, but was an American stock item. It was called Matterport, and they use like a camera to put into your house, and it 3D scans everything. So I think the thing is in that post Richard posts, I think it's kind of a Matterport photo in 3D of your living room, and it could be cool if you have like a Versailles or another cool like the London National History Museum in a Matterport item, and you could use the London History Museum insides and just make it your showroom. So, and that's a cool thing that triggers me when Richard posts that thing.
Sorry, I was just reading my note there. Appreciate that, Sven. I think I got everything covered for that. My notes were all jumbled here because I was writing down some stuff. I have Marvel Rivals written at the top there. Sven, did you see the trailer for that game? Or anybody on stage?
No, not yet, but I know what you're talking.
Yeah, new Marvel game dropping at the end of the year, but looks fun.
Yeah, I've seen a lot in the X-Men Twitter, a lot of talk about that game. People were getting disappointed that they were not in the beta, and so it was really alive, and it looks really cool. I've only seen some footage from Magic. She looks awesome in it, so it's going to be an awesome game, I'm sure. But it's for the PlayStation or something, isn't it?
I think it's going to be available everywhere: Xbox, PlayStation, PC. So definitely
going to be every platform. Yeah, because at first I thought it was a mobile game, but it's for all the platforms.
Yeah, which should be cool. So anyone who's familiar with Overwatch, you guys should be fans of that game. But Richard, Sven, the other Richard, Guri, do you guys have any specific topics or things you want to cover?
Did you mention the features?
The features. What about them? Oh, the airdrop. You're talking about, right? Or the crafting.
Yeah, the crafting. But no, that Brock blockchain just burned half of his supply. That man, he's so skilled in those things. He has no problems with doing things that are new or things that are unexpected. He slightly hinted at it, but because his drop was only 2 days in the store. After 2 days, he stopped the buying. So now his supply is half. So everyone who took the chance to buy got his value increased with his item. So, and the thing is, Brock did say that it was just a small message to the VeVe team, and after 1 day they burned it all. So there's no problem with burning items in the market. It just comes from the license, the IP holder, to decide whether they burn it or not.
Yeah. It should. Yeah, I mean, VeVe deals with a ton of companies though, so it's just a lot of back and forth. But I like how Brock said he's using that as an example for VeVe. That's funny. 2 days after the drop, burning half the supply. That is good. Creates a sense of urgency as well. Whereas if you say you're just going to burn part of the supply and then it happens 4 months down the line, not as effective. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's cool.
what if VeVe now gets the grip of it because of Brock, and gets the same possibility with the chromed items, and
With the what
putting
items?
the red chromed items they are going to drop. They just gonna
Oh,
leave them in store when the convention is there, and when the convention ends, they just gonna burn them all. This is not a fact, but what if they do that? What will people think? Will that would probably get the FOMO in a bit more, and get the people starting to think, okay, maybe if I wait too long, because actually the Brock supply I wanted to buy in the weekend, but he already burned it. So what if VeVe decide this D23, we're gonna put these items on the market. When D23 1 week's over, we'll burn all the rest, and maybe that would be something cool that VeVe would do, and it would greatly increase the value of those items, because there will be only maybe 100, 150 max.
it would be interesting if they did that.
We're so used to getting everything in the store, and that gives people a bit of time, and they think, okay, well, if I don't get it in the store, it stays there for months. And if VeVe starts to do, okay, we do, and don't tell the people. So don't tell, like with the Monster Hunter drop, we're going to burn all the rest then. No, just give the people a limited time without telling them. So there's no incentive for getting more. That's the thing Brock mentioned. If Brock did say it in front that he was going to burn all the items, it could be a reason to complain to him. Hey, you wanted extra cash because you stimulated people to buy extras. And he just said, no, I don't want people to know it. We'll just burn it. And if Marvel will do the same thing with the red chromed items or something else, it could be very, very nice mechanic to add on, and to get the people a bit more active in the market.
So,
Well, Brock's.
can I jump
Go
in?
ahead, Gary. Yeah, of course.
Sven, great idea, except VeVe makes all its money from sales. And if you burn any collectible, that's a possible loss of income, right? So they usually burn things that are just been sitting there for a while, not immediately after they've been launched. So I would beg to differ from a company that's making money to fund their growth. They need to have it on the market longer and possibly sell out. So chaser SRs that are 88 mints or 40 mints or whatever, those are great, and that increases sales. But burning is only going to increase value for the holder, and if they sell back and forth, then VeVe is going to make 2% of those sales. So it's not going to be financially sound for a company to burn. That's my point.
Great points. Richard, you got your hand up.
Yeah, the thing with VeVe and the market is it's a bit weird, because if something doesn't sell out, it's considered a failure. And if you buy a Transformers, you buy an Optimus Prime from Toys R Us, and then once you're outside, you immediately start like, burn the rest, burn the rest, Toys R Us. And that's basically what we are doing as well. And that's because at the beginning we nobody could get a drop or sporadically. And so we got it in our head that everything has to sell out, and otherwise it's a failure or something. But if you think about it like that, you buy something from a toy store, and it's like, all right, everything should be burned. Or you buy it and you immediately put it on eBay. So you buy something for $20 and you go like, nobody's gonna pay 50 for it. This is shit. VeVe is a scam. Of course you're not gonna get more than $10 for it because they can pick up something themselves. So there's a weird. I think we need to get rid of that whole thing that everything needs to sell out. And I think in months' time they're going to burn it anyway, and I'm fine with it. And I think the editions that we have now are small anyway. So.
Yeah. I think they also want stuff in the market still, right? They don't want everything to be sold out. That's discouraging for new users. I mean, they dropped the Jawas with 8,888. That's just one example right there. They definitely knew they weren't going to sell that many, but no. What's going to be interesting? Going back to Brock for a sec. What's going to be interesting is seeing how his next drop performs, because. And this is my opinion, what I think would start happening now after what he just did with that burn is people who want to collect all of his stuff are now going to feel that urgency. And if they want to buy his next drop, they're going to buy it knowing that his last drop he burned 2 days later. So they don't want to miss out. So it'll be interesting to see how his next drop performs. But yeah, great points, Richard and Guri, because that is also something to consider. You don't want to burn them too fast. You want to think from the perspective of the companies, which makes sense.
Yeah, but I think the problem was a bit that the reason why people don't buy in the store is because it loses too much value, their items. So at one point, people look at the market and look at the store. And when there's too big difference, so if you see the Jawas for 3 gems, why would you go and buy a Jawa for 10 gems, although the 10 gem price is okay with me. So if it was 20 gems and it was, that was a bit too high, but now I still have the possibility to go to the store. But the reason why your items, if you compare the market with the store, and there's a too big difference about store and market, there's no store selling anymore. So maybe the editions aren't that good. They don't know the right edition for the Jawas or something else, and maybe they should adjust immediately at this moment. Because if people say, yeah, you go to the store and you buy an item like Richard says, I collect Pokemon cards for a long time, a very long time. The reason why I collect Pokemon cards is they drop very short time in price, but if you hold them like 1, 2, 3 years, they immediately catch up. And so in VeVe, we have, for me, the collecting, and I expect things to drop in price. But after a while, 3, 4 years, and you see these prices keep on dipping, there's a little bit less incentive to go for store items for me. So if there's too much items in the store, I would consider them burning, and maybe they will get their price a bit higher. But I understand what Guri wants to say. If a baker sells bread and he cannot sell his bread anymore for the same price, the baker won't have any income anymore. But maybe it's for VeVe, the point is make your drops attractive, make your drops limited, get a bit more attraction to the prices, and after a while you can increase your editions again to a higher size and you can sell more. And that's my point of view there.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. The only thing I would add is that you are speaking from one side of the pond still, right? So you're speaking from the user's perspective, whereas the brand are going to look at that and go, hey, if we drop a collectible for 40 and then all of a sudden selling for 80 in the market, we could have dropped it for 80 or 60 or made more off the drop, right? So there's that other side.
Yeah, but for me,
it's the fine line.
Yeah, for me, it's like VeVe put his VeVe collectors at heart. So if the collectors are the main interest of the company, maybe they should lower their edition size a bit to reward the collectors. And like Brock did, reward the collectors very fast and get the prices up very fast. It's something they don't have to do it with every drop, of course, but maybe every now and then, maybe with these Chrome items, get it like that. Reward the collectors of those items, but not with every drop, of course.
Yeah, not with every drop, for sure. I see Viva La Viva VeVe down there tossing the thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line there as well. They can't reward every single drop. I would argue to a certain extent they have been rewarding collectors a little bit more lately, especially the VeVe Gold and Silver. Some would argue a little too much for that logo, but
yeah, I think Exhibition has his hand up, but Curry wants to say something about that. But Exhibition probably.
Yeah, let's go Exhibition and then Guri.
Yeah, sure. The people are not buying because the value drops, but the main reason people are not buying is because they don't want it. They don't want the comics. They don't want the collectibles, and that's just the way it is. And the reason they did before is because they make some chimichangas out of it. So for me, I see a Wolverine for 10, I will buy it. I see a Sentinel for what, 5 and 4, I buy them. You know, I see those comics dropping, I buy them for 2. The thing is, I don't have a big enough wallet for all the people who are dumping because they think the drop somehow failed. I mean, you buy a product, so you buy a comic for $7, you receive a comic, and that you dump it because you don't have the right mint or whatever. And then other people, of course, like, oh, I'm not going to make any money out of it, so I might as well not buy it. And that's a good thing. I hope those people leave so we can organically grow. And that will take 3-4 years. We don't have drops for 4 years so far. It's the same thing. It touched with the Pokemon. That takes years before, and then some pandemic came, and then everybody starts to buy Pokemon cards. But that takes years, and if you want to make some money, the moment for buying is now, and then in 5 or 10 years. But people, they have an attention span of a goldfish, and they just scream like, this is a scam. But the main reason why it drops is because the majority of the people who are here now, they just don't want the product.
This is when Ozman would say, not financial advice.
Yeah. So Richard, you're actually saying a bit like, but for me, like if I collect my Pokemon cards have some kind of inherent value. Do I say this right? So the Pokemon cards, if I collect them, they have an intrinsic value. So they have a certain value. If I buy those packages for $5,
yeah, but the majority is not worth anything.
Sven. But if you keep it nicely sealed, it retains everything of their value. So maybe, or VeVe has to keep their product sealed, so keep a sealed blind box. But it doesn't drop that much like we have it on VeVe. The fact is, the thing you're saying there, maybe these NFTs have not really yet an intrinsic value, and that's maybe the problem.
Yeah, well, that's also it though, right? Like what you're talking, like Pokemon has been around for decades, dude. Like the amount of time people have had to grow and love that brand it's not comparable to VeVe, right? So if we fast forward, let's assume VeVe's around for 30 years, and 30 years down the line, they're a big company like Amazon, then maybe that same outcome would happen, right? But right now, I don't think. I mean, put it this way: if you walk out to the street and you ask somebody what a VeVe collectible is, 99 times out of 100, they're gonna raise their eyebrows, right? So.
Mm-hmm. So a bit the fact is there that we buy these collectibles, but they do not yet have the same value as an intrinsic value as we compare it with other collectibles, which is true. It's true.
So I put a short out on my YouTube channel the other day asking, what's your favorite San Diego Comic-Con VeVe drop? I got a comment on that video. What is VeVe? Right? Like they went through, they saw the Marvel comics. They saw the Wolverine, they saw the Ant-Man, they know what that is, but they saw VeVe in the title. They're like, what is that? Right. So what we're talking about is education behind the brand.
Mm-hmm.
But Sorry, Richard, if you want to
Yeah,
finish.
the majority of in real life collectibles are not worth anything. All those comics, the vast majority of comics are not worth anything. They just drop. My comics that I read for reading, I cannot sell them for $2 because nobody wants them. And that's also, I'm not into Pokemon, but I'm sure of it that the most of the cards are not worth a thing. I'm sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. But the collectors that collect like sealed items, those items don't drop in value a lot. They just don't do. And I think
It's
the
because the brand's
perspective.
established. If the brand
Yeah,
wasn't established, that wouldn't be happening.
yeah. But if I go to the store and I buy one package of Pokemon for €5, I can, if I keep it in my drawer, and after 1 year, it will already increase in value. So, but I get it; it's the intrinsic value. But the thing is, exhibition. I want to mention because I was talking with you that with Collectors Con Digital 2 around this, the level 100 project of Sanjay. If you did see his video with Randy Chavez, and the purpose was, I think Dr. Rolex needed to be there or some other level 100 collectors. And he's really trying to get these level 100 collectors together. And I think his aim or his goal there is to get these people together, talk about their level 100, talk about their experience, their things they do in life, and maybe get like some interaction there. And those people will start to scoop up the things from the market. Like you can still buy your items exhibition for cheap prices and for your nice comics. But I think if that level 100 group gets bigger, these people gonna gather together, look at that comic from that year, that first appearance, this price isn't normal anymore, and they goggle it up and think that will give a good mechanic to the market too, because the lower users that don't have that much money in their bank account, they will see that their comics that they used to throw on the market for $2 are now selling for $7 again. But because we used to have a time where where comics were at the lowest 6-7 gems in the market. So maybe this will add a new mechanic, the level 100 group.
Well, just in general, of course, those guys they are super important for VeVe, all the big guys, of course. But yeah, for sure, I 100% believe in VeVe. There's no doubt in my mind, and we'll see it in time. That's why I got a Google spreadsheet with targets. I target comics. I go like, oh, I go for that one. I go for that one. I go for that one. I know Viva La Vivi as his spreadsheets, and
Let's go.
there are a lot of guys like us. I mean, not so much that we can move the market because there are many. There are more sellers than buyers now, but at some point that stops. And for me, I'm perfectly fine where we are now. For me personally, I don't like it that for other people that their vaults drop and that they're losing. But I feel like I'm winning when every month when I get my paycheck, I go like, all right, I'll get 10 of those. I get 5 of those. I get another secret rare of that one. You know, the first thing I'm into comics, and we were live on that live stream from Josh, and you know, I had 2 secret rares from Wolverine, which was insanely lucky, and I sold them. And the first thing I did was buying comics. So we have a lot of people now who would like cash out, so then money leaves out of VeVe, but the people were still believing. The money rotates, so at some point we hit that bottom, I suppose. Everyone has filled the bag, and then you slowly organically go up, and then new people come in slowly, and they want to buy those. They want to have a giant size X-Men. They want to have the first Iron Man, and they want to have a brown suit Wolverine and a Sentinel. But they're not a lot around anymore because they are in our pockets. So then we said, like, all right, I will sell my Sentinel, but I sell it for 30. And at some point, it's like, damn it, I want one. I want one. That's just what the price goes up.
The FOMO, yeah. Guri, I think you've had your hand up for a little while now, so I'll let you speak. Sorry about that.
Hey, no worries. These are all good points. I have a wish that we would have one product guy or one person in the company that's literally their job is to reward collectors. And by that, what I mean is every time there is like a fancy new SR or gold thing, they give it to the gold and silver logo people. Okay, all of those folks are important. Many of those folks have earned their keep. Some of them bought their logos with hard-earned money. Not arguing that. They deserve whatever they get. That's Dave and Dan's pet project. But there needs to be a voice in their company that says, listen, if you're going to drop things, you have to reward the people that have the full sets. That's one. Second, if someone has collected all of Marvel, all these small characters, Marvel Mighties, and you drop a 80 mint Marvel Mighty, the Spider-Man Noir, now you have so many people that cannot complete their set. One might say, tough luck. Who cares? This is open market. If you want to complete your set, fork out 1,000 gems. I'm just saying, if someone has spent so much time collecting, and they are truly collectors in my eye, if they have all the Marvel Mighties, one has to be cognizant and be aware, and they can do some study, or they can look at their numbers in the back from the analytics team and say, how many people have completed all of these Marvel Mighties? Let's say there's 30 people, 40 people. Reward those people. Make sure they get the first dibs. Whitelist them for the draw, for that collectible. Instead of 88 mints, make it 128, right? Sure. But I think that's where rewarding is. Now, if you don't reward those people and they don't have the gems to buy the Spider-Man Noir, they're going to get disheartened. They're going to say like, hey, got screwed, because the next drop could be 40 minutes. And now you're just making it harder and harder to people for them to collect. The keyword being collect. I think that's where the problem is. Someone needs to voice this and represent the users and the collectors. Let's just call it collectors. There's users, collectors, flippers in any particular order, and your whales, if you want to call it that. There's got to be representation from all sides. That's it.
Yeah, good points, and I would have to agree with that. I know Sven was talking about the Club 100 or Level 100 group. I would hope that those would be the types of individuals that would bring that up to the team, especially considering the amount of pieces they've collected to get to that point and stuff like that. So, but yeah, great points. We'll go Richard. We'll go Richard that's spelt like Richard, and then we'll go Exhibition.
Hey, Guri, I had a question. So I 100% agree VeVe should reward set holders more. I just had a question because I kind of want to dig into this a little bit. I don't know the right answer. So if someone has all the Mighty Marvels, Marvel Mighty, excuse me, and they drop the, whatever it was, the new Spider-Man Noir, that was 80. Would it be satisfactory if they then reward the set holders with a different variation, like a Series 2? Would that be good enough? Or do they have to get the FA version?
So I think that is definitely something that they should discuss, right? There should be, whatever the set holders have the option to whitelist to buy, that's keeping them going in their collecting phase. I mean, I don't know the pipeline of Marvel Mighties. Do they have another 80 they want plan to drop? Is it the end of the line? I don't know that for sure, but it looks like they keep dropping, right? They have, I would say there's probably another 80, 100 that they're going to keep coming. So I think a version 2 might work. But it should be counted as a completed set, because apparently now Noir is the the one that says completed set. So whoever has to complete all of the Marvel Mighties needs the Noir. Now, if they get a version 2 of the Noir, whatever that is, then it should be counted as a set completed, if that makes sense.
The other thing I have, and I'm on the same page as you, Guri. I'm just trying to flesh this out. When should have this count? Let's continue with the Marvel Mighties. After, let's say we go back in time when they only dropped 15 of them at this point. At that point, should they get forever rewarded as long as they continue, or should they when? I don't know if my question kind of makes sense, but I'm kind of wondering when do we start?
Totally got it. I think my personal thing is when you have this 80 mint drop, and then if you do the analytics and you find out there's already 140 people that have reached set completed before the Noir drop, now you're possibly out of those 140, only, even if none of them get the Noir and they have to buy it from the market, only possibly 80 people out of those 140 can continue their journey. You're leaving 60 behind. And you're basically giving them a big, we don't give a shit about you. 60 people, we're moving on forward. Tough luck, right? I think that they need to look at the analytics, especially when you do this small count. And I think this is a product manager thing. I'm a product manager. I look at retention and I look at acquisition. I look at both sides of the equation, right? I want to keep my current customers happy and I want to acquire new customers as well. So they need to look at analytics to find out how many people are possible candidates that they're going to fall off the bandwagon. And it's a hard question. Do we reward all 140 with a version 2? But perhaps, because they've made it so far. This is not the first 15 drop. I think there's been at least 150 so far, or 200.
Yeah, and I don't think there's ever going to be a decision they can make where you're going to have the community 100% on board. Like, you're always going to have that group that disagrees. And I think they have actually done this in the past with the gold skateboards. Not on purpose, but there was an issue, I think, with delivery for the gold skateboard, and there was a version 2 that was delivered. And if I remember right, that version 2 did end up retaining its value pretty well. So, but yeah, those were good questions. We got Vegan Things up to the stage. How you doing, man? Oh, you still there?
I must have pressed the button. I didn't mean to come up. Sorry, was just listening.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Well, if you want to add anything, feel free to. But
no, great conversation. What gold skateboard were you just talking about though? V2.
From Lincoln.
Oh, that skateboard. Okay.
Yeah. Xhibition. Got your hand up, or did you click the button by accident again?
Nah, I didn't have my hands off.
Okay, it doesn't. It shows your hand up on my screen. So
seriously, no.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. You're good. By the way, shout out to all the new listeners. We got Rolex down there. We got Viva La VeVe, Vegan Things, who's just up on stage. We got Geode, and I'm sorry, I'm going to embarrass myself here, but well, you guys can see the last name at the bottom. There you go. But shout out to you. We got requested. We got Rolex coming up. Rolex, can you hear us?
I can now.
Hello.
Hey. How's everybody doing today? Great show.
No, thank you very much.
Enjoying it.
Not doing too bad. Just chilling.
Fantastic.
How's everything going on your end? I heard some talk about you picking up 70 Jawas.
I don't know if I got 70. I think I hit the button at least 60 times, but could have been could have been close, man. I forget. It was probably north of 50, that's for sure. But I did get an SR, which was nice. I did want to piggyback on the set completions because me personally, I'm OCD, and my collecting style is I have to complete the entire set. So, I will say there was a time when I first got onto VeVe and the price points were a little bit different when I first entered the space. And there was a lot of items that I wanted that I just couldn't fathom paying, the price that, what at the time what the item was. But over time, being patient and making some moves and some trades and some not really any cash outs, but I've sold some stuff, not much. I've been slowly able to complete a lot of my sets that I didn't have. And now I feel like I'm almost to the point where I have to complete everything. There's literally 2 sets on the app, collectible wise, that I don't have. I would like to hopefully own them one day, but they're very scarce, these items. There's 2 items on the app that there's only 7 of, away from the one of one artworks, but it's the 007, the Aston Martin with the 007 frame plate. That one, there's only 7 of. I had the opportunity to buy one recently. I ended up not and buying the Donnie to complete that set. So I did buy the Donnie about a month and a half ago. And then there's another item that I would love to have, but this came out before I was even on the app. It was a 007 golden ticket. And there's only 7 of those as well. And that's another set.
Wait, whoa. Golden ticket. Or are you talking about the movie ticket?
The movie ticket. Yeah, it's golden, I believe. It's in like a little it's a golden movie ticket in like a little case. I believe that was 7, but unfortunately I don't have that one. And hopefully one day I will. But to Gurifying point, I do understand the frustration it could be for some people that weren't able to get that Spider-Man Noir, because I know there are some Mighty fans, and I know that one was only limited to, I believe, 88. But I do feel like if you collect at some point, if it's something that you really desire, I feel like you'll find, if you really want it, I feel like a true collector is going to find a way somehow to make it happen, whether it's today or tomorrow or next year. At some point you'll have that in your possession. So just staying positive in your collecting journey is always a plus. It's kind of what I've tried to do, intend to do, as much as possible. But I do understand where it could be frustrating on some of the scarce pieces, and then paying a premium to be able to get it at that point isn't always the best. But I do feel long term, I feel like we're still very early in this digital collecting space, and I feel like a lot of people will kind of fizzle away at some point, and or disappear, and or accounts will be dormant and gone forever, and that will increase. That will obviously increase scarcity. There'll be some of these high volume items will be more scarce, and some of these scarce items will be even more scarce. And I think at that time you'll start to see some of those pieces that you may have paid a premium for even go higher. Not financial advice, of course, but it's all about your conviction. And then of course, I know someone mentioned something about VeVe collectors at heart, and I think they are doing some stuff in the background to be able to reward all types of level collectors, like not just a level 100, level one through 100. I feel like they're working on that already in the background. I think they've even maybe mentioned that, or somebody's mentioned that, but a lot of good things coming. Very excited myself, and I am a set completionist, and I do get frustrated when I can't complete the set, but I try to be patient. But it's fun. It's all, at the end of the day, it's all fun when you do complete it. I will say that.
Yeah.
Took me 2 years to get the Donnie. I'll say that.
Well, congrats, man. That's a hell of a collectible to own. So
thanks, man.
No, but appreciate you sharing that from a level 100 collector himself as well. So I really like the part where you're kind of talking about thoughts become things as well. So yeah, just stay positive, find a way to get the collectible that you want to get that you can't get right now, later. Might not be now, but in the future. That's awesome advice. So Guri, you got your hand up? Or was it Guri? Yeah, we'll go Guri and then Richard.
No, I just wanted to drop in and say, Dr. Rolex, I really appreciate your insight. And I do agree with you that if someone really needs to complete a set, they'll find a way. I just feel that VeVe could be a little bit more cognizant and check how many people are on their journey of completing that set. Especially if they're the 150th item, they have 150 items, and they drop 88. And lo and behold, someday in the future, they drop a 40 men coming in the future. That means only 40 people can complete that set. I don't know who wins in that journey, because people are going to drop out. And as you said, some people will stick around and they'll win. But that's fine. But I think if we tell the market, if we tell every newcomer that they come on the social spaces and they start seeing people drop out, the sentiment doesn't set well for just a starting point for new users. They don't get the good vibe from the community. And that's what I'm thinking. They should be just a little bit more aware of how many people are on their journey for each set that they drop. They need to know how many people are collecting all the Batmans, how many people are collecting all the Deadpools. Just have that number and make sure that at least it's attainable. If not 140 in that particular example, make it 128 or make it 101, 111. Their favorite. For some reason, they love dropping 111. But something that's reasonably attainable, but also make it a little spicy, but not make it sure that everybody gets it. So I can go either ways, but I think they need to have representation of the people that are collecting on the table, that when they have these drops, someone needs to represent the set holders. That's all.
I'll let Rolex respond.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all, man. Because from someone that has every set on the app, like I do get frustrated sometimes that let's just say they drop a specific piece that's maybe a single piece, like the Thor that's dropping, the Marvel Red Thor that we just got announced. Like on a piece like that, I have the set of the Thor, all three pieces, all three variants. I've had it since it dropped. And, maybe something like that, it's only 444 of those, which is pretty scarce. $440 price point feels, a little, I don't know. I'm not going to get into the specific drop, but as an example, maybe utilize a drop like this to reward people that collected and held the Thor set from prior. Regarding here's what I would say though. You got to be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you wish for at the same time. Because me as a collector, I don't want something that everybody can buy or everybody can have. I don't. I actually want the opposite. I want something that less people can buy and less people can have, and more people desire and want. So the more people that desire and want it, and the less of that item there is, there's your value. When you start just increasing the volume to please everybody, then maybe you're pleasing everybody, but then you're not pleasing your most, the true collectors. Because at the end of the day, when you're collecting things, I mean, I guess you can collect anything in life, right? But for the most part, I would fair to say most people like to collect things that other people can't get, right? Or items that are a little bit on the scarcer side. If you're collecting like long-term things like that, I feel like we've seen both sides of the fence. For me, I feel like you're 100% valid to what you say, but I do also believe that scarcity does create a little bit more action. It does get people, I'm not gonna say FOMO, but people like myself that know that it's 5 left only in the world or 100 in the world, I tend to go towards those items than the 10,000, 15,000, 25,000.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I don't mean to do it to you again, man, but Xhibition, I see your hand up. Maybe that's just my screen. Just give me the yay or nay.
Yeah, that is absolutely a glitch. But
okay,
yeah,
right.
It's definitely your screen only, man. I don't see it.
But
okay.
I got something quick to add for me because I wanted to collect all the X-Men comics that they drop on VeVe Blue, if you will. And then I wanted to have all the commons, uncommons, rare, ultra rare, and the secret rare. And I started collecting all the secret rares because they were dropping, and I was like, I need to get those first because they can jump in price points. But X-Men 64, for example, that is the first appearance of Sunfire. There was a special drop. That was for 60 years, Uncanny X-Men. And you had to be invited for to be in a Zoom call for that. So obviously you had to have a Marvel subscription. So I got the invitation. I sat there from 2 o'clock at night till 5 in the morning, which was amazing, by the way, because Jonathan Hickman was there and Chris Claremont and all the big guys. And then they gave away the VeVe X-Men comic number 64, and I was like, yes, yes. But the thing was, it was only for the premium ones, and you cannot get premium subscription outside of America. So I was locked out. And then I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna spend a couple of $100 for something I was there for. I was there. So there, for me, I learned to let some pieces go. And, my wallet thanks me for it. So that is also a good thing in your collecting journey, I suppose, because I cannot have them all. I just can't. I want them all. But here's the thing, though. Maybe that's a good point that Rolex brought up. Maybe in 5 years or 10 years or whatever, maybe because I got extra comics, maybe I got a stack of Ultimate X-Men number 2, Maystorm, because that is the spec comic for me, because that's a couple of bucks. I mean, that doesn't hurt anything. And I think Maystorm is going to be big because you got Peach Momoko, 2-time Eisner Award winner. And I think in the future, maybe not in live action, but I can see a team of Spider-Gwen, Kamala Khan, and Maystorm. And I think she's going to jump in popularity. Anyway, the point is, maybe those books are going to do good in the future. And then I will be able to buy an X-Men 64 Secret Rare. Or it's the common version. It's just the one, without me hurting so much.
There you go. Yeah, life has its way of panning out for you. So, 100%. We got Dr. Fuse down below as well. Shout out to Dr. Fuse, another level 100 collector on the platform. We were actually just talking about the Aston Martin ticket and the Secret Rare. He's one of the 7 right there. So. We also got John in the space. What's going on, John? NFT gents, sorry. Appreciate everyone stopping by today. I'm going to wrap up the space here in 15. We're a little past 5:30, but we're having some good combos. I want to open up the floor for the last 15. So if you guys have any points or anything you want to talk about, shoot. I don't know.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
If VeVe ever listens to this in Rewind, I think they should give 1 cent for every trade that happens and put it towards St. Jude's. Right? I'm thinking that 1 cent is not a lot, but maybe half a cent. Some small minuscule number that won't move the needle for them, but will definitely move the needle for 1 or 2 patients that need medical care.
Are you talking about implementing that on the app in general for drops, or just for one, like a specific drop?
No, just I think that they should pick 1 or 2, maybe every month, change the nonprofit and just say, okay, this month we had $1,400 for you, whatever that math is, if it's half a cent or quarter cent for every transaction that has happened, and they can put it towards a nonprofit. That'll create so much goodwill and makes people feel happy that I'm all about philanthropy and giving stuff away. I don't have a lot of money, but if I had, I would definitely give away a lot more. But if they can do this easy, low hanging fruit, I think that'd be awesome. All across, every month, every day.
Nothing wrong with donating to charity. Yeah, I did like the move that they just recently made with the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So that was nice to see. But we got John up on stage. What's going on, John?
Hey, yeah. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for hosting. I see I'm going to mind my manners because it's a recorded space, but like you said, you're wrapping it up. So I'm just going to jump in here. I think that Gurfang's idea is great. I know that it was received very positively. The whole thing from Brandalism, Brandalized, and all of those kind of secondary offerings in terms of cost, going towards a charity that the community chose. I thought that was a great idea. So to see that continue in some way, I think maybe not necessarily in VeVe's DNA, but they have historically done that. Also, Ron English did that back in the day for, I believe, Ukraine. So there is a history there of them, giving to good causes through secondary and sales, and also through primary mint sales. So definitely something to keep in mind, to bring up to the team that we would like to see that continue, right? Second part is I like what, of course, I like what Richard said, Exhibition said, when he was saying that he was stacking Ultimate XN number 2. So FA Maystorm, I would say it is FA Maystorm in the universe of Ultimate X-Men. FA Maystorm as being named Maystorm. Also, I would also hold that number 2 is the right way to go. I would just say that there are, and we're just talking VeVe, right? So there are 2 other comics on VeVe to check out if you're a Maystorm fan. And people may not gravitate towards these 2, just like they did not gravitate towards, what was it called? X-Men Annual number 14 or whatever that was. That was the cameo of Gambit. But no one respects it. Everyone goes towards Uncanny X-Men number 266 for the FA Gambit, right? So in this way, I do agree. I do think that people will respect Ultimate X-Men number 2 as FA Maystorm, but there are 2 other comics before that. The one that is on VeVe, and let me double check the rarity. Okay, yeah. So the rarity is ultra rare of X-Men number 27. And that means that there are only 100 editions of it. So there are only 100 of these on the VeVe app. They're the ultra rare version of X-Men number 27. The reason why this is important is because it's the new Champions variant. And that was a little thing that C.B. Cebulski reached out to. He's the editor-in-chief of Marvel. Reached out to some artists and asked them to come up with an idea of, if you were going to have a sidekick for an existing Marvel character, please just invent one from your creation, and we'll put that on the cover of a new Champions variant cover. Peach Momoko was tabbed, and at the time, I believe she was designing Ultimate Storm, right, for Ultimate Black Panther. So she got it in her idea of, like, what if somebody was influenced by Ultimate Storm and wanted to have Storm, that version of Storm, be her idol, right? So she created Maystorm as a Japanese schoolgirl who read about the exploits of the ultimate version of Storm, and just idolized Storm, and kind of wears Storm-ish kind of stuff. And when she turned into a mutant, when she activated her powers, she ended up having Storm-like powers, right? So that is the cover of X-Men number 27, the new Champions variant, and that's the ultra rare variant on VeVe. The thing is, at the time, there was no thinking that character would actually end up being a Marvel character. It was just like a one-off variant for a cover. She wasn't even named at the time. There was no name for this character. C.B. Cebulski liked her concept so much that when he later on tabbed Peach to run the Ultimate X-Men title, he encouraged her to make Maystorm her first original character for that series. And it was already fully formed anyhow, right? So Peach's character, Maystorm, is the very first New Champions character ever to actually make it into main canon, right? So all these little kind of things are really cool history-wise and how it started and created. So if you want to be a Maystorm fan, it behooves you to go back to X-Men 27 and go pick up a copy. I also recommend that you pick up a physical copy. The second book, and I know I'm rambling on, so I'll be very quick. The second book that you may want to pick up that is also on VeVe is, I believe, not the Ultimates. It's Ultimate Universe. Ultimate Universe number 1. It's the one with Thor on the cover, right? Hidden all the way in the back of that book is I believe, a 2-page preview for Ultimate X-Men. And this precedes Ultimate X-Men being published by a year, like a half a year. And it's like it's a cameo of Maystorm in like one panel. And it's just because it's about Armor daydreaming, or actually having a nightmare of how this Armor mutant power was about to activate in her, but it had not yet activated, right? And then when she woke up, that little tchotchke, that little token, was physically next to her, and Maystorm was also there. Now, that was just a very preliminary preview. None of that was used in main narrative. And it turned out that later in the main narrative, Maystorm was introduced to Armor later, right? And she, was wearing all the stuff that she's currently wearing as in episode 2, but not episode 1, right? So you can count that, but I would absolutely call it more of a cameo, just like first appearance of Wolverine is in Hulk 180, but everyone respects F.A. Wolverine in Hulk 181, right? So that is the Maystorm version of Hulk 180. So pick up that cameo in Ultimate Universe number 1, Ultimate Universe number 1 if you like. Definitely pick up X-Men number 27, the ultra rare variant, because that's the first cover of Maystorm ever, even before she was called Maystorm. And then absolutely have no problem with you stacking, Ultimate X-Men number 2. That's a great one, and that's one personally I would respect as F.A. Maystorm as well. So there you go. Sorry for the long-winded response, and I think that's the whole 15 minutes.
Hey man, no need to apologize. I always appreciate your discussions, because you are way more knowledgeable about comics than I am. So you can add a whole lot more than I can in that department. So I appreciate that, man. I have about 4 or 5 people on my screen right now with their hands up, and I don't know if it's my screen bugging again. But if you guys are looking to, okay, I got the thumbs down from Richard already. It's probably my screen, but I'm going to end it here then. I don't have the full list that Ozman typically goes through for all the shout outs, so I apologize in advance. But today's space has been awesome. We've talked about a bunch of different topics, from the upcoming VeVe drops, the ones that just happened, like the Jawas. We talked a little bit about D23, some of the exclusive drops happening over there, as well as where they're kind of located at the venue. What else we talk about? We talked about whether it would be a good idea for them to abandon the VeVeverse and kind of focus on some other things at the moment. And then we also talked a little bit about MCP, Marvel Rivals, the Stark tokens. It's been a kind of a packed show for today. So a special thank you to everyone who's up on stage and spoke. I really appreciate it. This is my first time hosting, so I was a little nervous, but and yeah, we'll kind of go through the panel real quick for anybody who has last words. We'll start with Rolex. Oh, we lose him. All right, Xhibition.
Yeah, I think Rolex didn't hear it, but hey, thank you so much for holding this space. Earlier in the show, I gave a long introduction to Apocalypse and about his origin. There was actually a second part to it, how they reinvented his origin in House of X and Powers of X and the Hickman storyline after that. And so that has to wait for next week. So tune in, everyone.
Ooh, building the suspense. I was going to say, I don't have the wife and the kid to look after, so I'm not pressed for time. If you want to explain it now, go for it. But if you want to save it for another show, by all means.
Oh, man, it's going to take 10, 20 minutes.
Okay. No problem. Richard.
Yeah, great space, and you're a natural, man. Good job. I don't have anything special to say, so I guess, yeah, check out the security challenge. You can win my NFTs, and 3 different community artists are donating their art. Shani Poo, Ediskin, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Ediskin, really talented as well, and Devo. So check it out.
Thank you for that reminder. Actually, I did actually have that on my list, and I'm going to add to that real quick. Shout out to Hanano and D for their Aloha Friday. And then also they did in that video, they had a guest appearance with Fro and Key Collector and his partner, Darian. So if you guys missed that, feel free to check that out. And then Ozman also dropped a new Get to the Comics number 13, first Star Wars comic they actually ever covered in the series. And that was with special guests Miss Gecko and Dubes. So if you guys want to check that out, that's over on Ozman's channel as well. So, and then I think the only other thing is VeVe is wrapping up their giveaway as well today. Oh no, sorry, it already finished yesterday. Forget it. Let's move over to Guri. Any last words?
Yeah, thank you for hosting the space. Great job. Could have never guessed this is your first time hosting this space, but well done, and thank you for doing this. And a note to everybody else who's listening. If you have a moment, send a hello or a thanks to your parents. Thank you.
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much for the kind words. And yes, that'd be a nice thing to do. Sven, have you eaten your broccoli yet or what?
No, I just wanted to congratulate you on the golden medal for Canada in hammer throw, and that was it.
Appreciate it. I had a lot to do with that. No, I appreciate you as always, man. If you guys don't know Sven, I want to give him a special shout out right now. Sven has been someone who's shown just an incredible amount of support to me. He's helped me with all my live streams. He's kept me company. He's been nothing but positive. And he's an amazing or awesome addition to the community. So if you guys don't follow him, make sure to. He doesn't put any, videos out or anything like that himself. The odd dinosaur T-Rex video on X from time to time, which is always entertaining. But no, a super genuine guy. He's a veterinarian. He takes care of animals for a living. How can you not be? But no, really, really appreciate you, man. And
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Josh.
Of course. And John.
I just wanted to pin up on top to give people the context. Those are the two comic books I was telling you. One is the cover art, the other is interior art. Those are the two Maystorms that you'll find before the stack that Xhibition was talking about. And I do want to say that it's good bookend because I don't know if you know this or not, but I was in Ozman's first Twitter Spaces, and I did the exact same thing in that space that I did in this space, which is talk of everyone's ear off about Peach Momoko. So I think it's really funny that I didn't even know it was your first space, and yet here I am again talking about Peach Momoko. So some things never change, right? So congratulations on your first space.
I appreciate that, and thanks again for sharing what you did. So, but yeah, guys, that's going to conclude today's space. So, like I said, I don't have that whole list of people to give shout outs to. I will give shout outs to people in this space that I know are in Web V though. We got Xhibition, we got Richard, we got Guri, we got Sven, we got D, we got John, Double Quill, and I apologize if I'm missing any. I apologize. But yeah, Web V is going to be just nice little collector group. Pretty much a group of like-minded individuals share our thoughts on collecting cinema, comics, all things VeVe and all things not VeVe. So if you guys enjoy this space, make sure to tune in for our next one, which is going to be happening on Wednesday. They happen every Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday is going to be hosted by Ozman, co-hosted by Dokta Strange, who was in the space. He had to go. And then Sunday shows are going to be hosted by Ozman and co-hosted by myself. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone who stopped by for number 40, and we will catch you in our next show.